Welcome to the You Can Man podcast, episode 40. I'm Josh.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Dave.
And on this week's episode, Christmas Tool Gift Guide 2019.
All right, guys, welcome back to the You Can Man podcast, where we believe what one man can do, you can do as well. Guys, what's been going on this week?
I need to give a shout out. Excuse me, I'm going to
Whoa,
start.
Dave, out of the gate.
Well, because I want to give a shout out to our buddy Brandon Funk
Yeah.
for the wonderful gift that he gave me on the last podcast, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
We had a break, and so I'm a little fuzzy, but I used it for the first time today. I went to REI and I used
Nice.
my membership, okay? And I got to say,
How did it feel?
it felt great. It was still, it's still a painful
Okay,
process.
little short backstory in case you're just joining us. Dave has this weird thing.
It's not
where
weird.
He'd go to REI and he'd be at the checkout. They'd ask him if he was a co-op
Oh, you're
member, and he'd be
co-op?
like, "Look,
No.
just sell me the item. I don't need it."
I'm buying a cup. Let me buy my cup. And they're like, well,
Exactly.
have you heard about the
So he was bucking against the system. And then we had our guest on our last podcast, Brandon Funk, and he brought us each gifts. And so Dave's gift was an REI membership.
a lifetime
co-op membership. So something he would never buy himself. What a great gift.
That is the best
It was a
gift.
great gift. I used it today. It's still paint. They're just, listen, I love that it's a great store. They have great employees who are super knowledgeable and happy to be there, but they're just, like whenever you go and you buy something there, you always deal with the same type of person. They're just a little bit weird. Like they're kind of like a cross between like a doctor and a hippie off the Appalachian
I
Trail.
was just going to say that.
And maybe like a computer programmer.
Okay.
Like they're always kind of
pretty
like,
accurate.
they're soft spoken and they're like kind of standoffish. And they're, you don't have an email in the system.
So
Would
maybe
you
they
like
could
to
be
give
like
a-"
an NPR host.
They're like
Is
an
that-
NPR host.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't want to give my email. They're like, oh, okay, well, it's going to ask you on the keypad. I'm like, look, I'm an REI member. Leave me alone.
Hey, now you can say that.
I did say that. So anyway,
and Josh got
thank you,
the-
Brandon Funk.
Josh got the shotgun with the plunger on the end
Yes, and
of
that
it.
was a huge hit with my father-in-law.
All right.
I took it to, they have a cabin up in North Georgia, and we went there for Thanksgiving. And that is prominently displayed in a bathroom in a cabin, which is
gotta
the
be.
perfect place
Perfect.
for a redneck plunger.
Yeah, and he didn't have the stuff to give me that night, but he shipped it to my house. This
We put it on Instagram.
Harbor Freight socks and a koozie and a hat.
You're outfitted now, right?
I know, man. It's awesome.
Yeah,
and the
what
hat actually fits really well. I've got like a weird head,
Nice.
and this hat actually fit really.
Yeah, that doesn't
really
happen for
nicely.
me. Maybe I need a Harbor Freight hat.
Maybe.
Josh, what you got going on?
Well, I've had a big since our last. I feel like we haven't met in ages.
I know
but we only took a week off.
Took a week off because of Thanksgiving. Okay, I wanted to talk about the fact that you got a minivan.
That is topic number one.
Dude,
Man.
you-
Yeah.
I'm so.
I-
What is
So-
wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm proud because
No, you're not. Like you're
Basically,
trying to act
since
like
I was
you
13
didn't
years
tell
doesn't
any-
old.
bother you.
You didn't tell anybody. Did you tell Dave?
No,
he
before
told
you
me
got
he
it?
did. He said it was imminent, and I was like, "Well, he's gonna make a mistake."
So I was backing out of the driveway. I looked over and I saw a silver Sienna, and I texted them. I was like,
Did you steal my car,
"Hold
bro?
hold up! Did y'all get a Sienna?" And they sure enough,
yeah.
they did.
So we have
And we're twinning.
the
because
twin. You
guys have the same-
Literally, he
It's so
bought a
cute.
2012 Toyota Sienna that's silver, just like the one that we have. Now, yours is all-wheel drive. Ours
Yes.
is not.
Yes.
But they're both XLE.
Oh my
models.
gosh! Listen to yourselves.
Dude,
There's one
that's
man
so
that is
bad.
jealous at this table.
just wait, Dave. Your day's coming.
No, I've said it to all my
here's-
friends. I'll
well-
say it on the airwaves. I will never own a minivan.
Here's that's fine.
Listen, they're insanely practical. I'll give you that.
Okay.
So practical.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from too. Because look, when it wasn't a necessity, and look, this is first world stuff. I understand that, but we could do the Forerunner with two kids.
but you got three
Roger
now.
that. We're good.
Yeah.
3, like, oh
That's
my
what
gosh.
did it for
Life
us.
Yeah, I can see
totally
it.
changed.
I can see it.
And again, we could make it work with the Forerunner if we had to, but we're able to do the minivan. It has been amazing. We took our first trip to the cabin for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I randomly
didn't-
saw you on the interstate.
Oh, yeah,
I
what was
spotted
that
you,
about?
Dude,
We
I
haven't talked about
dude,
that.
I spotted you from a half mile away because I saw a silver Sienna and I was like, Josh Matthews. And then I saw the dealer tag and I was like,
Yeah, they
I pull
like
up-
blew by me on 575.
well, I was sitting there just like, like slow roll, like right next to him for like over a minute, being like,
you there that
I was like, bro. And yeah, so.
I only looked over because I accidentally drifted towards that lane, and I was like, "Oh, I bet I made that guy mad." I was like, "Hey, it's my buddy." Yeah.
Dude, Josh,
right.
you need to watch that drifting thing, man. You almost
Yeah.
hit that truck when we went.
Oh,
camping,
you're right.
remember?
I almost took a semi out with my
Dude,
trailer.
yeah.
I should not constantly text and drive.
bad.
Be
Just
safe
kidding.
out there,
Just
people.
kidding. So yeah, minivan life is awesome. The other thing that I'm going to bring up is I took I've taken 2 super cold showers today because my water heater
No.
is like,
Way.
I don't want to work. So
Gas or electric?
hybrid, but no
Okay.
big deal. No,
That's your fancy one that you
yeah,
got.
it's fancy. So what's so fancy is that the computer broke.
no,
But
a
good
water heater
news.
should not have a computer.
Well, the good
agreed.
news is Rheem is located locally. They have a plant or manufacturing place in Birmingham, Alabama. I think that's where the part's coming from. They're overnighting it. It'll be here tomorrow, and it only cost me like $30 with shipping.
okay, did you
Nice.
diagnose it? Or
I did. I actually read the manual, and they're like, "Hey, if the temperature gets too hot, this thing turns everything off. Like it shuts the power to the system, and you can go in and look at the alarms." So I looked up the alarm code, and they said, "Hey, yeah, this part, that alert means the water got too hot and it tripped, or if it keeps tripping and tripping, then that part's bad. But kind of like a thermostat going bad." And it is called a thermistor or something fancy on a water heater. Anyway, diagnosed it. Hopefully that fixes it. If not,
Okay.
I'm going to kick it over.
That's a true you can man spirit right there.
Yeah.
You researched the topic and you
right.
figured it out.
Yep.
Good job.
I looked all over the internet for this really specific part that nobody carries. And Home Depot actually carries it because they are a Rheem carrier. Some other random like plumbing houses around the country had it, but all their shipping times were like a week out. Kristen, my wife, who actually used to work for Rheem, is like, "Hey, why don't you just actually call Rheem?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go on their website."
Good idea.
Let's
There
see.
you go.
So we're good. We're good now. Also, last thing for me, told you I was going to fry a turkey.
Yes.
Yeah, how'd it go?
It went frustrating. So it's cool on the front end. I did a dry brine. I'm not going to get into it.
Please don't.
A lot of people do like wet brine, but like super real chefs.
I thought
say
you said you were
dry
not
brine
gonna-
is the way to go. It was good. I didn't trust my thermometers. I had like 2 different thermometers I was using, and I just didn't trust them. They were giving me different information.
As in the oil wasn't hot
The
enough.
turkey itself, like when I was probing it, and I think this normally happens is you'll do a slow burn, like a slow rise up to a certain temperature. And then at some point, it just like the curve is like exponential on the temperature and it comes up so fast. And so really quickly, I like yanked it out when it hit that specific temperature, 151 degrees, I believe. And then you pull it because then it's going to cook after you pull it out.
Right.
Did that, took it inside, put the probe back in it. And like some areas were reading like we're good. Some areas were lower than they should have been. So I got a little spooked, so I went back. I didn't want
Snuck it back
to
in
kill
there.
my whole family and my in-laws. So I went back, dipped it in a little longer, came out. It was good, and everybody's really nice about saying it was good. For me,
Yeah, well,
a little dry.
That's the problem. Like you can't, unless you're a total pro, you can't enjoy anything that you cook because you're going to be critiquing it the whole time.
Yeah.
Right?
So it wasn't the best I've had. Like on Saturday after Thanksgiving, my dad had done a turkey and fried it, and he did a wet brine. It was way better.
Well, it wasn't his first bird, was it?
No,
Yeah,
I did
so-
learn a lot. Lessons learned.
There you go.
I need to buy an expensive thermometer, I think, is the first thing I need to do.
I have no experience cooking a turkey,
Yeah.
so
That was my
Nor do
first.
I.
Totally first. All right.
Okay.
So that's all I got.
all right.
It's all about me this
I'll
time.
give a little update on my running because I had stopped for a long time because I had a knee injury and I was hiking instead.
Self-diagnosed knee injury, right?
Well,
Which is fine.
I mean, it
My knee
My
hurt.
knee hurts,
hurts,
and it's not
so
getting better.
There's that.
Yeah.
So I switched to hiking. But this past week I did a run, and I'm up to a 10K now, guys.
Whoa.
Big time.
Right
Good for
now,
you, buddy.
I did kind of screw my knee up in the process.
Yeah,
so
man. See, you got to like ease back into it.
I know. At our age, right?
2
Yeah, you
miles,
can't go
3
from 5K
miles,
to
4
10K.
Right.
You got to do the in betweens as well.
You can't. No. You can't go from nothing to 10K. Like that's not a good idea.
Yes, that's kind of what I did.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy back on the road.
Not from nothing.
Yeah. Dave and I and my brother are doing a 10K this weekend.
Yes, we are.
Dave's been a little under the weather.
I've been under the weather, so I'm a little bit worried about it because I was getting into fighting shape, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And we did a 5K since the last podcast.
We did well. Okay,
It was in a tropical storm and it was like 47 degrees.
it was terrible. We did your brother and I did a 5K, and then Josh decided, well, I'm going to run home from the 5K because he's the hero of the road.
I'm training for a half marathon.
When are you doing a half?
Wait,
I
you already
think
did
I'm doing
a
it
half.
next weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I did that one in the summer. It was terrible and I was embarrassed. So I got to do another one. But yeah, so we all did a 5K up in Kennesaw near the mall. And then after the 5K, I ran home from that, which was another 10 miles.
Okay.
What half are you doing?
Northside Hospital, I believe.
Okay.
The Jeff Galloway. He
Yeah.
was one of the founders of the
Legit.
Peachtree.
Yeah. He's the first winner of the Peachtree.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
but I think the weather next weekend could be kind of bonkers. So we'll see. See how
Hey,
that
man.
goes.
All right. Well, let's get into this topic here, guys. I think this will be a yearly thing that we'll do. We did a Father's Day gift guide, so we thought,
Yes.
you know what? Let's do a Christmas one. Now, when this episode drops, I think it'll be December 11th. I think that's
That should
the
be
date.
correct.
And so, look, still plenty of time. That's 2 full weeks, guys.
You got time to shop.
before Christmas. And so if you've got somebody left on your list that is a tool lover like us, then we're going to give you some ideas. So who wants to
So
who wants to
let
go
me
first?
say something
Oh,
first.
go ahead.
Tools is like, if you're a dad, that's like automatic.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think I only got my dad tools the whole time.
It's automatic, and you. I'm not going to say you can't go wrong because you can, but it's a safe bet to buy
Yeah.
a man. Buy him a hammer, buy him a tool, buy him something.
Yeah, I've done that. I mean, that's a go-to.
I don't think I've ever done that.
I also remember my dad, this is really random, but it just popped into my head. My dad would do last minute shopping because there was no online like growing up. There was
Right.
no Amazon, nothing like that. I remember him going literally Christmas Eve. He would bounce.
I've done that.
And he would do all of his shopping that night.
Wow.
That's like a distinct
I've
memory.
never
Wow.
understood that. That's so crazy.
Yeah, that was a
why
bad-
would you put yourself through that?
I did that one year, and it was more like stocking stuffers. I was like, I always forget about the stocking. I'm like, and so I had to go out, man, and I was
You
stressing.
were at Walgreens.
I was I hit up Target, but yeah, that was not a fun Christmas
You know,
Eve.
I did do that one year. I think it was stocking stuffers. And I was at Walmart, and it was a madhouse.
yeah, it's crazy on
And
Christmas Eve.
there's a guy that we went to high school with that works there and has worked there for years. And it was incredible because there's all these just hordes of people, right? And then
And he hooked you
here's
up.
Velarde down the way, and he's like, "New aisle open on whatever." And like it was just awesome because there's a whole new set of like registers open, and I was like, "Yeah,
Nice.
I know."
Thank you,
him."
Michael.
Yeah. Anyways, hey,
right.
maybe Velarde listens. Who knows? You never know.
He could be a fan. We all right. So we got some parameters here. We're just gonna throw them out. They might not be exact, but we do what we want because it's our show.
That's right.
So we've got 3 categories of gifts. We're gonna have, and they're just tiers. There's pricing tiers. Okay, we're gonna do $1 to $25 gift. Second one will be a $25 to $100 gift. Third one will be 100 plus, like to infinity.
Cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
Simple. We've all got a gift. We'll just go around the table
All right, I'll start.
and hate on each other's gifts.
Yeah.
Like we
Okay,
usually do.
I have to thank my first one. I have to thank my sister-in-law, Alyssa, because she actually bought this for me,
Okay.
and I love it. It's great, perfect, practical gift. You cannot go wrong with this, guys. A magnetic stud finder. It's basically just a really strong magnet that's nice and encased in this like plastic thing. It's got a little arrow that you can line up with the stud. I don't know why I never thought about like, duh.
I have no idea what you're talking
Okay,
about.
let me
A
ask.
stud
I've
finder.
never heard of this.
Does
I know
this-
a stud finder, but a magnetic stud finder?
It just looks for the screws. You just
But what
run
if
it.
you
Really?
don't hit a screw?
What is connecting your drywall to your stud?
Yeah.
But what if
yeah.
you're in between? Like they're spaced apart.
What are you talking? Well, you
They're not
find the
gonna-
line. You find the line of screws, and then you're on the
Yeah,
stud.
they're not going to be.
But if you can find the
Man, I
screw
really like that idea
without the magnet,
because I never trust my stud finder.
so do you just wave it all over the
Yeah,
wall?
exactly.
yeah, and then you hit.
well, look,
Okay.
look. I'm always going to do the Tom Silva knock on the wall.
Obviously,
Because I got to test.
you got
I'm
to
not
test your
hating on
skills.
this gift, but I always thought that I've seen those, and I may have
You think
owned
they're
one.
gimmicky?
You need
I'm
one.
like,
Cheap?
I'm like, of course, this is for metal studs. That's my thought.
No, it's totally not.
That's
I'm
a really good.
telling you,
I need to try one because
Get
I
one,
like
and
it.
you will never go back.
No, I
and,
like
and
it.
here's another plus.
You got to hit a screw though.
It's not that hard.
So
It's
what do you
current-
tap and get close and then kind of go up and
yes,
down?
yes. Okay. Look, it's currently $7.13 on Amazon.
I'm gonna buy this before you're done talking.
Okay, use my affiliate link on yourcaveman.com.
Our affiliate link.
Right. On my, there's a post that I did on building my son's loft bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a beautiful post.
And I link that. It's an affiliate link, full disclosure. Doesn't cost you guys anything.
No.
Just if y'all don't know what affiliate
out the
links
podcast.
are. It helps out the podcast.
Keep the pirate ship afloat.
But tons of people have ordered that. I guess because they click on it and they're like, oh, it's like $7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I need one of those. But to me, it's passive, meaning like you don't got to worry about batteries
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
in
Yep.
something, and
it can sit
They're
in your
always
toolbox for a
kind of
year.
just like they're a little finicky. Stud finders are.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like batteries, and then I feel like, oh, I found a stud, but then it can't find it again, and it's like, oh, is this a center finding stud, or is this the edge find? They
This
drive
is
me
a
crazy.
wire. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a great gift. Even that's a stocking stuffer gift. Honestly, for $7,
I might have to give it another go just to try
you
it.
should. You can borrow mine.
All right.
All right,
Okay,
next up,
go.
number one guy at the table. Okay, so my first gift, I'm going to try and adhere to these price points. I think I've hit the first one. My gift would be a plumb bob because I needed one a couple weeks ago.
Did you asked us about it?
Yeah, I asked my buddies Tim and Josh, and they're both like, "Yeah, no."
I own one. Didn't have it on me.
Didn't have
It's
it
up in
on
the
you.
cabin.
I do not
okay, yeah, you
have
said
one.
that.
I need one, but I don't have
So if you don't know what a plumb bob is, it's like I don't even know how to describe it.
It's a weight
shaped
on a string.
Well, and it's shaped
it's
like
a pointed weight.
It's like a really looks like a really
Torpedo.
stubby pencil, right? And it's metal or steel or brass, and you tie a rope to it, and basically,
String.
yeah, that's what I said. And anyway, plumb bob. I don't even know how to describe what will you do with it.
You plumb things with it. So
What do you mean? What do you
I
do
needed
with
to
it?
line two things up on a wall, and they projected out from the wall.
Yes.
So I was like, plumb bob would hit the spot right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up buying one, but if I hadn't, I would need one. Every guy needs a plumb bob.
Yeah. So if you were, for instance, if you had this nice dining room table in a room and it was like centered in the room, you could do all this measuring if you wanted, or you could and you were going to cut in a new light, let's say, over this
Okay.
dining
Perfect.
room table. You could put that plumb bob on the ceiling
Yep.
and line it exactly to the dead center of that table,
Yep.
or any other piece of furniture, art, whatever.
It's a very simple
Oh,
device.
I'm sure it's ancient.
Yep.
That should be on someone's segment at the end of
well,
some
it's
show.
mostly used in masonry. I feel like. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, my go. $0 to $25. So I believe this is still under $25, but during Black Friday, which is about the time we were putting these together, or at least I was, there was a 20-piece Milwaukee Sawzall blade set. There's also
Nice.
a Diablo.
Oh, okay.
There's also a Diablo. I think they were trying
That
to
was
match
under
prices.
$25.
20-piece for $14.97.
Hey.
So yeah, Sawzall blades, and don't go cheap on those. Like get a name brand. I think Diablo's the best from what I see on Instagram. The contractors use, but yeah, if you can grab those under $25, that's a steal for a 20-piece set. I mean, that's
They gotta have the saws
a
off
little
first.
over $1. Yeah, Sawzall ownership is good, but anyway, that blade set, I went right to it. I was like, I need that.
Oh yeah,
It's a
Always
good one.
gotta have
Guarantee.
some- Yeah. Okay. My next tier up. I first got this idea because I was seeing these ads for. Have you guys seen? They call them VAM pliers or like vampires.
Nope.
It's like a play on words.
Yes.
And it's supposed to just grip anything. And it's got these kind of teeth sort of on the end of it. I'm not going to do a
It's
good
like a
describing
gnarly
it.
looking just pliers set.
Yeah, exactly.
Aggressive.
So I found basically, I think honestly, it's probably the same manufacturer from Japan
Harbor
or something
Freight.
like this. It wasn't Harbor Freight, but I found it on Amazon, and they're actually called engineer screw pliers, is what
Okay.
they called them, but made by some Japanese company, Neji Saurus or something. And it came in a package. It just had, I think it had Japanese all over. It was weird. But anyways, it's $29.29 currently on Amazon.
Okay.
And they're great.
What
have
are they
them.
specifically used for?
Well, pretty much anything. I mean, if you've got a stubborn, like a stripped out bolt, or if you've got to get something that's really shallow and you need something that can like really grip that.
Okay.
You know, a lot of pliers, you'll try to grip something that's real shallow, like the head of a bolt, and then you can't.
Or
There's
if you
not
pop the head
enough.
off a screw. or
Yeah,
something
there's
like
not
that.
enough meat there to really
Yeah.
grab onto. Well, this kind of has these kind of teeth kind
It's
of
got a
on
little
it.
extra.
Yeah,
bite.
so that you can
Okay.
really grab onto that. So I think that would be a really great gift.
Cool. I've seen those and I'm like, that's probably useful.
No, super handy to have around. You're
they're
probably
high
not going to need a
quality.
lot, but
Yeah.
when you need it.
But yeah,
oh,
because what I do is I try to get my vice grips on those, but
That's
they
what
don't
I'm
have
saying.
they don't
Right.
have those aggressive teeth. So
right.
that
And you
pops
can't get
off.
down there flat
Yeah.
on it, right?
Yeah.
I
Good
haven't
gift.
used them really much because I just got them not long ago, but I think that they could be your go-to pliers, like just normal
Sure.
pliers, because So
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it.
all right, Dave. Next.
Okay, so this is where I'm probably gonna go break away
You're
from mold.
100.
Well, see, listen,
You're at 100.
Like I got,
That's a lot of money,
expensive
man.
taste. Just deal with it,
you
okay?
do.
So maybe you probably get a Black Friday deal. Daddy needs a laser level. All right.
Oh yeah.
So I need a laser level, man. So look, people out there who need to give me a gift, I need a laser level. I think they're usually a little over $100.
They are,
like
but you can
100 to
grab-
300. But you can
I
get
think
get deals on
I
them.
think the Bosch I got was like 89 on sale.
Yeah, I
And
need a
look,
laser
y'all,
level in my
I
life.
need y'all to get Dave one too, so that I can
So Tim
borrow
can
it.
use-
I've got one. I've got a green laser. I just used it
Okay.
the other day.
Oh, you
I
got
won't
a
talk all
green
about
one.
it.
Okay,
They're supposed to be easier to see outdoors.
that's what. Yeah,
But
that's what I've heard.
the cheaper you go, and I said this on an earlier podcast, the cheaper you go on those, and like $100 is the bottom that you want to spend on one
Right.
of those, the weaker the beam.
Yeah.
So like the further out you get in the daylight, it's going to be hard. But I used it in my garage the other night to line up my shop lights. Money. It was just super bright green stripe across the
Yeah, I mean, I would say, probably not once a week, but once a month, I'm like, I need a laser. I need a laser level.
It's a great tool in my opinion. All right, let's see. My up to $100 one is kind of like yours. A lot of these are like just over 100, but you can get a deal and get them under with whatever brand you're loyal to. So if you're a DeWalt guy, or I'm a Milwaukee guy, Dave's a Makita guy, whatever brand you have, get yourself an LED work light.
Yes.
Like a freestanding, some of them you can spend $300 on one that telescopes up and has panels that come out. I got one that looks kind of like an oversized lantern. It's got a big like dome on it,
Yep.
and you just plug your battery into it, your battery, and it runs for hours, like 4 hours on a normal battery because it's LED, super low power, but really bright, and it's got different brightness settings. I got one for myself. It's so cool. I've already used it
I need
so many
one.
times.
It doesn't burn you.
It's not.
Well, yeah,
Back
see,
in the
I
day.
went cheap on the incandescent one, and that thing gets hotter than the surface of the
It's
sun.
not
man.
hot.
Which is nice in the wintertime.
It is nice in the
It
winter.
is.
Acts
It
as
is.
a heater.
Yeah, it doesn't. So it doesn't get hot, and you don't have to drag a cord up, and it's really useful in the attic. I've been in the attic because I'm running some new
Yeah.
lines over.
I'm gonna
my
need
garage.
that.
You just set it up there. It lights up the whole thing like daylight,
Beautiful.
and it uses your batteries from the tool you already have. So these are gonna be up near $100. So if you can sneak one, there's a bunch of different styles, like I said. But if you can sneak one under 100, get it.
Okay, so now, guys, we're now
dreaming.
we're now
Unlimited
onto
budget.
the unlimited budget here. You guys are gonna think mine is weak. if
75
it's-
Bronco.
Yeah, well, I already got
Check.
that. So, but I think that a really incredible gift would be a John Deere in the X300 series.
Whoa.
Okay. And specifically, when's the last time you guys went on the John Deere website just to kind of poke around?
Probably like 2 weeks ago because I'm in the market for a riding lawnmower.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I had my eyes on the X354.
Yes.
It's essentially
They call those lawn tractors.
Yes,
Yeah,
they do.
I
They
guess
call
it's-
them all lawn tractors, but the X series, that's when you.
it's the biggest motor in the X3 or X300 series with a 42-inch deck.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I like the 42-inch is because it will fit through a standard fence opening.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And especially if you got a yard with a lot of hills and stuff, you want something that's not a large
Yeah, because then it cuts more
cutting
uneven.
path.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you have a golf course, the big one's nice.
Yeah, and now this one has the 4-wheel steering.
Yeah, those things
Okay.
they look like jet skis, man. Those things are
Dude,
sweet.
they're so nice. And it comes with like I think I read it was a 300 mile, or sorry, not mile, 300 hour warranty.
Goodness.
Now,
That's a lot of hours.
what does that cost? What do you guys think that costs?
$7,400.
Whoa, I was going to
Oh
say.
wow, that's what. Oh no, you're way over.
I was going to say.
This is the X300 series. This is
38.
not the.
I was going to say 38.
Okay, you're close, very close because it's $4,000.
That's
Yeah,
not
see, I've
terrible.
been on the website.
That's not terrible. So,
But for-
It's a lot of money for a lawnmower.
yeah, for a lawnmower?
but
For a
that's not a
homeowner?
lawnmower, right? For a
homeowner.
homeowner. But the difference, like once you get into the X series, I believe those are designed to like pull implements
Yep.
and stuff. Like
Yeah,
a
this
little
is
plow
not.
or
This
like
is
a,
okay. So for our listeners
like
who
a snowplow.
who maybe don't know,
or snow blower.
this is not a model that you get at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Correct.
It's a step up. You've got to go
Go to the
the
dealer.
You got to go to the John Deere dealer to get this. So this is the more professional model. But if you want a mower that's going to last you,
This is for someone who owns 10 acres, small, little,
Or somebody sitting around this table.
5 acres.
Yeah, that'd make me happy.
Maybe have a couple goats.
yeah,
Like not horses yet. That requires a bigger tractor.
yeah. I don't think I could ever buy one new.
No
I
way.
just- I
no.
just
No,
can't. I can't
there's
pull
no
my-
way.
It's like a car.
Can't do
You
it.
don't buy those new.
Yeah.
I've bought several cars for less than that, so I can't
The
be
car I
buying.
drive now, I paid less than
Yeah,
that.
several
And
cars.
and I've driven it for next year will mark 10 years.
Nice.
You've driven the Exploder for
Next
10
fall,
years.
I bought it in the fall of 2010.
That's incredible.
If I keep it through the fall of next year, that will be 10 years for a car I paid less than $4,000.
It's awesome.
That's how you make money.
Anyways,
Hey, man.
okay, let's keep going. Dave,
All right,
what's
next
yours?
up, I need in my life. I need
No
this
limit.
in my life.
No limit.
So I'm not dreaming as big as Tim, but you're kind of man. I'm still thinking about that mower. I need a table saw. I need a table saw, chop saw, compound miter saw, something. I need it in
I
my
don't
life,
know, man.
man.
You're talking like a saw stop. You might be getting up there.
Nah, I don't. I mean, $500. You can get a really nice compound miter saw, right? So that's what I need. Daddy needs a compound miter saw.
Wow. This is
I
really
thought you just
funny.
said table saw.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care what it is. I need something better than a circular saw, which is what I'm operating with
then
right
I
now.
think you need to go with compound miter saw first.
No, I agree.
before table saw.
I'm just saying I need something better than a circular saw because that's what I'm like. I'm out there. I'm
You could
using
buy a
that for
track.
everything.
You could buy a track for your circular saw.
I could, but I don't want to do that. I want.
No, you need everyone needs a compound miter saw.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's the entry level for.
I agree.
Okay,
Right.
so what is it, Dave? Because you said table. Did he not say table
He
saw?
said
can't-
table saw, but he means compound miter saw.
No, I mean either or. I'm fine with either.
But you should go with compound miter saw.
don't wanna-
Much more useful than
Yeah.
a table saw.
Those are like completely different tools.
Yeah.
What are we
Different
saying?
purposes,
Okay,
yeah.
different purposes here.
Yeah. Do
Okay,
the compound
Dave,
miter.
look,
That's a
look,
good one.
guys. Dave just needs to cut some wood. So
I need to.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
what would you guys recommend? Let
Dave's
us
saying
know.
really nice table saw or really nice compound miter saw.
Which one would
I'm
you
going to
get
say
first?
double bevel, where it flips both
Right.
ways.
Right.
I think it's worth it. So I would say that.
I have a single bevel.
Now you got to go
It
do it
works,
right.
but they're expensive. Like a nice one that has no play.
Dude, we are. Yeah. Hey, listen, we are in the no
Sure,
limit.
You're dreaming.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's funny because actually my choices, you both have taken the wind out of my sails a little bit because I was going to say table saw, which you didn't say. You did say.
I said all of the above.
I was going to say table saw, but not just a table. I have a table saw. It's the cheapest. It's one of the cheapest ones you can get on Amazon. And it's like freestanding. When I say table saw, I mean nice table saw, not $2,000 nice, but like $500
got
nice.
like
You need
Out-
some
outlet
space. You need
table.
space for that thing, though,
But
right?
I want the whole workbench.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
that
saying. Yeah,
lines up with it.
That's what I'd
so
be
that I
worried
can-
about because you got. I mean,
So that I can run 16.
right? If you're
foot
running,
pieces.
if you're running some planks, like you need
Yeah.
room.
That was mine. But I'm cheating and giving two because the one I want to go ahead.
Before you get that though, Josh, you have to have the workshop to put the thing in.
Right.
do.
Yeah.
Okay, go
I'd have to
ahead.
turn in one half of my garage.
Well,
door,
first
so.
you need to clean your garage out. So
Dude, I'm gonna have an update on that because we're close. We're so close, and
Believe when
I'll
I
show
see
you
it.
pictures.
All right, what's your second?
All right, my second one, my main one that I replaced table saw with was a 0-turn mower. So I'm not
Nice.
I'm not dreaming on like the farm life mower, but a 0-turn for my yard would just be so awesome.
homeowners do the 0-turn. Like you,
Well,
you can do it.
I don't. Yeah, and I
Well,
have
see,
I
okay.
have like an acre of grass. Not
So
Josh,
I've been looking.
not a
I've been
postage
looking
stamp.
for them, and I'll see those on Craigslist. Now they are very, very used, but you can get them
Well,
for.
yeah, that's because the landscape guys abuse them and then sell them, and I don't. That's the one I don't want, you know.
be all right.
But I'm not going to pay new.
That would be really nice. So for listeners who don't know, Josh has got a really, really nice lawn, and he does the stripes really well.
and he's got.
When
You got 2 lots. You're mowing 2 lots, right? So it's like around an
lot and a
acre.
half. Yeah.
So trying to do the stripes in a large yard, when you're on a riding lawnmower, you've got to turn that thing around. And
I spend half my time turning it around.
exactly, because if you got to line back up, so if you had a 0-turn,
Yeah.
that would help.
Do you have a stripe kit for that thing?
No,
Oh, you
it
need
just
to
does it.
Get you a roller, man.
My big old wheels.
Yeah. All right.
I don't even know what is the stripe.
So this is what like the golf course guys use. It's like a weighted rubber.
It's a roller that you
goes
drag.
behind-
You can get them for like a push mower.
It goes
Oh.
right behind. It just drags right behind your mower,
And
it
that
just,
makes-
it just lays down.
Interesting.
It's for
It's
striping.
like a crop. It's like a crop circle type thing. It lays down the
Okay.
grass one way and then lays it down the other.
Yeah, it
So
essentially just bends the blades.
that's what they use on baseball fields
Right.
to decorate the baseball fields.
I did not know that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, don't look it up because then you'll be like, all right, I guess I need
Yeah, I
one of
need
those.
that. I mean, it makes it look really good. That's how they get these stripes. I mean, it's a
Yeah, my lawn does not need that.
nah. I don't think it would make it look any better.
I don't think weeds like
No, they don't.
respond that
They don't.
same
It'll
way.
look good for the afternoon, and then the next day it'll be gone.
Yeah, my yard. Look, man,
For
my
being
yard,
all weeds, your yard. It
I
ain't-
like
it
yours.
ain't bad.
I like yours because you can cut it so short.
Yeah.
My yard,
Yeah.
I have to leave like
Yep.
like
in
3
the
inches.
summertime when it's actually green, when it's all green, consistently green, and I cut that,
Does not look
it looks
terrible.
nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's
All right, is
that's
that
Georgia
it?
life. That's it. We
All
went
right.
around. We gave our dreams. For,
Okay,
for
well,
Christmas.
good deal. I enjoyed this, guys. So we will link all of these products on our show notes page on youcanman.com.
And you
so
just did a big update on that, didn't you?
I did. Well, I kind
our
of
show
fell.
notes?
I kind of fell behind on our show notes, and so I did do some updating on that. So there is some of that if you wanted some extra info for some of the things that we talked about. And if we ever leave anything off of there, make sure just utilize the Facebook group page and let us
The thing
know.
is still growing. Like,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of people doing crazy stuff on there.
Yeah, I think we're actually going to try to do a show, maybe next, of doing some shout outs to some folks on there that have really been helpful to other users. And there's one guy that did he basically did a little mini series
Devin, no,
how to tile. And that was really,
Yes.
it was really interesting.
Tons of
So,
good info on tile.
Yeah, so we love that. Also, wanted to continue the conversation about some UCAN Man merch because we had some people that did
Yep.
chime in on that. I think
We need
our-
some
The
merchandise.
people
Our buddy
want
Nick
koozies.
said that, yeah, I do like a koozie or like a hat with
Yep.
UCAN Man on it. So,
All right.
hey guys, weigh in. Let
Yeah,
us
if anyone
know.
out there is like in that biz, like graphic design and stuff, let us know.
Yeah. Well, we could reach out to 1776 United.
Oh yeah,
Our sponsor.
Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay, good deal. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we get back, Dave has a segment for us this week. We'll be back.
This episode is sponsored by 1776 United. 1776 United is a patriotic and historically inspired lifestyle brand. They make the best patriotic shirts and apparel on the market today. I personally own many of their products, and if you want to don patriotic gear without looking gaudy, check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and at 1776united.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. Dave has a segment for us this week. Dave, what you got, man?
All right, I got the segment, and today's segment is called The Warren Buffet.
Okay.
The Warren Buffet.
See
Warren
what you
Buffet.
did there.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get into what that title means in a minute. But first, I want to talk about the namesake of my segment. Okay, Warren Buffett. So you guys may or may not know this, but I absolutely love Warren Buffett. I believe that in addition to Shaquille O'Neal, okay, he is an absolute national treasure.
Wow.
I love Shaquille O'Neal too.
Wow.
But Warren Buffett and Shaquille O'Neal are national treasures to me.
Okay.
I don't necessarily share some of his social views, but I love him for the eccentric that he is, and he is an eccentric man. So you guys know what I'm talking about,
I
right?
do.
All right, so
He has money.
Is it true that he eats McDonald's like once a day?
we're going to talk about it. So for those of you who don't know Warren Buffett, he's an 89-year-old. He's also known as the Oracle of Omaha. He's 89 years old. He's a billionaire investor and chairman and CEO of the Berkshire Hathaway Corporation, which is like a conglomerate
They
holding
own
company.
thousands of
They own a
companies.
lot of different companies based out of Omaha, Nebraska. And depending on the direction of the stock market, when you check it, he may or may not be the richest man on any given day. I guess Jeff Bezos is kind of like, eclipsed him by like a factor of whatever.
Crazy.
But for a long time, he's the richest dude in the world. So he's worth an estimated $86.1 billion. Billion dollars. So
All I want is $1 billion.
right. I don't even know if we can like correctly comprehend how much money that is. But
No.
Tim, do you know how many seconds, how many days a million seconds is?
I don't.
It's 11 and a half days. Josh, how many days is a billion seconds?
$1 billion segments. Isn't it like 200 years?
It's
or
32 years. So
No.
a million seconds is 11 days. A billion seconds, 32 years. I remember when I was
something?
in
So to count to $1 billion once a second.
take you 32. So
32
that's
years.
a great point. When I was in high school, the world's population went over 6 billion, and our math teacher was like, "You guys don't understand how big that number is." She said, "If you could count one number a second, it would take you 192 years to count to 6 billion. So you can never do it." Anyway, Warren Buffett, he is a rich dude. He has more. His net worth is greater than that of 120 different countries on the planet.
Wow.
Wow.
And there's only like 200 something countries.
So
right?
according to Wikipedia, there's like, I think it was 100 and it's like 186 or something.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of countries. But in addition to being a brilliant investor, he's also a huge philanthropist. He's pledged through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to give away 99% of his wealth during his lifetime or at the time of his death. So does anyone want to do the quick math on how much that's going to leave his heirs? So he's given away 99% of $86 billion. That's going to leave his family with $860 million.
Okay.
Which is still amazing.
Right, gives away 99%.
But he's the guy, he's proclaimed, right? Like, I don't want to give my kids everything.
Right. I read one time that he denied his daughter, she asked to borrow money to redo her kitchen. He was like, no.
Not gonna
It
happen.
was like, she's like, can I have,
Those
like,
are probably good principles, though,
well,
in
he's
general.
known to be extremely frugal, right?
Sure.
So he lives in the same house that he bought in 1958 for $31,500.
No.
That's
he still
amazing.
lives there.
That's impressive.
It's now worth around $650K, and he says he calls it the third best investment he's ever made.
That's great. That's great.
I looked at it like it looks like a very, very nice upper middle class house, but he's been there since 1958. He told his Berkshire Hathaway shareholders in 2014, "My life couldn't be happier. In fact, I'd be worse off if I had 6 or 8 houses." And as of 2014, he still drove his own car. So the richest guy in the world doesn't even have a driver.
What did he drive? Did you read
In 2014, he bought a Cadillac XTS, car with a retail price of $45,000.
Okay.
That was an upgrade over his previous car, a 2006 Cadillac DTS, which he decided to get rid of when his daughter Susie told him it was embarrassing.
Cadillac.
Buffett, he justified the delay saying, "I only drive about 3,500 miles a year, so I buy a car very infrequently."
Oh, my gosh.
All right, so Warren Buffett, he's a little bit crazy, but that's not what I love most about him. What I love most about Warren Buffett is his diet. Have you guys, so Tim, you
I've
mentioned
heard a little bit about this.
his diet it's amazing. The man's going to turn 90 years old in a matter of months, and he's survived on an absolutely wretched meal plan throughout his life. His diet is terrible. So he did an interview one time, and he said, "I'm 1/4 Coca-Cola," and I think it was a somebody in the media, and they were confused. They thought he was talking about his stock portfolio, and he said, "No, if I eat 2,700 calories a day, a quarter of that is Coke."
Wow.
He said, "I drink at least 5 cans of Coke every day."
Wow.
I think he said he drinks 3 during the day, and then he treats himself to cherry Coke at night. So 2 cherry Cokes at night.
Wow.
He eats McDonald's for breakfast every single morning. So before he heads out in the morning, drives himself to work, he tells his wife how much money to put in a cup in his car, and in exact change, he buys breakfast based on how the stock market is performing that morning. So this is a quote. He says, when I'm not feeling quite so prosperous, I might go with the $2.61, which is 2 sausage patties, and then I put them together and pour myself a Coke. $3.17 is a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. But in the interview, he says the market's down that morning, so I'll pass up the $3.17 and go with the $2.95, which is a sausage, egg, and cheese.
Wow. So his range is 261 to 317.
Yeah, and he pays an exact change every morning.
He actually goes through the drive-through himself? Like,
According to the internets, he drives himself through the drive-through, gets the money out of the cup that his wife put there, pays an exact change. He said, I checked the actuarial tables, and the lowest death rate is among 6-year-olds. So I decided to eat like a 6-year-old.
I've heard him say that.
Quote, it's the safest course I can take.
wow.
Man, what's crazy is he doesn't love money.
He doesn't love money.
He likes the mathematics.
Right.
Like the exponential growth part.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
clearly he's not,
crazy.
he's not
It's
driven
very
by
interesting to
the,
think
the material side of it. But just to kind of put a pin in that, the whole McDonald's thing, Bill Gates once wrote in a letter that they were in China together, and he and Buffett decided to have lunch together. And Buffett suggested that they go to McDonald's and insisted on paying. He digs into his pocket and pulls out McDonald's coupons.
Wow.
This reminds me of, for you Atlanta listeners,
you're gonna
Clark Howard. Now, he's nationally syndicated, so he's a consumer advocate guy. He's on the radio. If you're in Atlanta, you definitely know his name. I actually went on a trip to China with his group. And Clark took this is hilarious because Clark took me. He was like, "Hey,"
and he's a self-made millionaire and retired at like 30, right?
So many similarities because I got 2 stories. One was he took me to McDonald's. So I was like, we were out, and he's like, "Hey, you gonna grab lunch?" So I was like, "Okay."
So you're in China and you guys go to
McDonald's because he loves McDonald's. And another one, I remember I was on a Habitat for Humanity build with him, and he set his Diet Coke down on like the back of a truck. And the truck started driving off, and he runs after it. He's like, "That's 50 cents a Diet Coke." He's like running after it.
So good.
I mean, you could say that's why they're so.
They are related. Those behaviors.
It is,
are
but
related.
that's taking it to the extreme. So look, I have a love for McDonald's too, and this is, I would say, I mean, this is the holiday season. We're a week past. It's the week after Thanksgiving. It's kind of the eating season. So tonight, I brought a sampling of
I can't eat that.
of Warren Buffett's daily diet. All right,
What?
I brought us the Warren
it's
Buffet.
cold.
All right, I gotta check to see how many calories.
So I
got left for the day.
know that. Yeah, Tim's on a diet, so he may not eat it. So I might have to eat.
I just ran, so I'm good.
So you're good. So
can eat
yeah, I
whatever.
got McDonald's for us. I got fries. I got burgers. I got Cokes.
All right.
I got Cokes in glass bottles.
dude.
Yeah. So the Warren Buffet for
I'm
the
looking
You Can
forward to
Man
that.
table
Okay,
tonight.
all right.
Wow.
That was an interesting segment because I heard little bits of how he ate like crap, but
It's just amazing to be 90 years old and eating like
Yeah, I was gonna say that's reminding me. I was gonna say I don't think the man. It doesn't sound like he's a dude that physically exerts himself a lot.
Probably
because there's
not.
like a lot of that's a whole different discussion on theories of should you even work out, like, or should you be not slovenly but sedentary as to like protect yourself. Like there's
Interesting.
crazy thoughts around all that stuff, but he sounds like he's in that zone of like, I'm just going to maintain and I'm not going to exert myself.
He's probably got some genetics on his side too.
that
And
always
no
is a
doubt.
factor.
he's
No
not,
doubt.
I've never met him, but he doesn't look like a very large guy. So I'm sure he doesn't eat a ton every day.
You guys heard the story of the lady that drank the crazy amount of Dr. Peppers a day?
No.
And Dr. Pepper actually, she got up in age and they actually heard about her story, how she drank all these Dr. Peppers. And they did a little promo with her, and they brought her like a Dr. Pepper birthday cake and all this stuff. So there was this video, and then it was floating around on the internet. And she was like, yeah, the doctors told me to stop drinking the Dr. Peppers, but they're all gone now.
So that was her secret.
And she started drinking Dr. Pepper when she was like 60 or something.
Yeah.
And she drinks like several a day.
I'm going to say genetics is your biggest factor.
It's got to
Probably.
be. There's no way that you
can't
do
eat
that.
McDonald's every single day for your entire life and live to 90
unless you're Warren Buffett.
Yeah,
Right.
that'll take a lot of people out at 47. Yeah.
unless you're the richest guy in the world.
But you know what? I bet he does it in moderation, though. He's not. I would say that
He's
most.
spending $2.61 at McDonald's. He's not spending $7.
Exactly.
Well, if you're eating just sausage patties, if that's all you eat, just
Yeah.
some protein. That's not. You
Little
could
protein,
do. You
little
could do a
fat.
lot worse than that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not horrible.
All
That's
right,
not
good
horrible.
segment, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
In a future segment, I need the Shaquille O'Neal story.
Oh,
So
I'll talk
work
about
on that.
Shaquille O'Neal all day.
All right.
Okay, next. Hey, and Brandon Funk, our last guest, he actually, I guess he met
Yeah, he
him.
met him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did a shoot with him or something?
Yeah. Anyways.
Crazy.
Okay, that's going to do it for this week. Guys, make sure to check our show notes. We'll definitely be posting that on the You Can Man Facebook group page, the Christmas Gift Guide 2019. So if you still got some gifts to get on your list, definitely check that out. And we will see you guys next time.